All right, so one movement pattern that I may have ignored that you probably think is pretty important is rotation. You're saying to yourself, well, after all, golf is completely rotational, and I completely agree. But let me tell you why. In the gym, I'm not, like everything I do is not rotational. It is in a sense, but you're not gonna find me slinging medicine balls and everything I do in the gym is rotational. That's a misconception. I believe that some people have, and I believe that many training programs are missing the boat when everything they do is rotational. And here's why. For me, there's no better rotational exercise than actually getting out on the range or getting out on the course and slinging drives as hard as you can down the middle. So for me in my training program, I'm never going harder, rotationally speaking, than when I'm in a practice session. So at times in the past when I've added a bunch of rotational training to my training program, it's been overload because I'm all rotation in my sport, my activity, and then if in my training session I'm all rotational as well, it's too much. So what I have benefited from are some of the lifts that we've talked about, kind of paying attention to these sagittal lifts with our squatting, our deadlifts, our pulling, our pushing, because I'm getting a lot of rotational training in my sport. So what is rotational in my program is the limit force elastics that I'm doing, is the coiling, is the sprinting. And you say sprinting is not rotational, but we'll get into it. So that type of stuff is helping me to generate rotational power and actually bring that out when I'm on the golf course. So for you at home, I think some rotational training is appropriate because you're not slinging 200 drives down the grid, 4 or 5 days a week like the long drivers are. Okay, but I think of primary importance, I think for you at home, if I had a tip, is to get yourself systematically stronger like we've been talking about, so that when you go out to the range, you can swing harder for longer. Because to me, the most benefit, and I've seen this in multiple guys that I compete against and in myself, the jump you're gonna make in ball speed and the jump you're gonna make in distance, it doesn't happen in the gym. It happens in your practice sessions. The work you do in the gym gets you systematically stronger and more stable so that you can maintain those practice sessions and not break down as you're pushing yourself on the golf course and on the range, if that makes sense. So the speed you're gonna get actually comes from going fast, swinging the driver. It's not as if we start a new training program in the gym, we wake up and go, oh my gosh, I'm 20 yards longer. The mistake a lot of people make is they get stronger in the gym, but they never actually apply it when they're practicing, when they're working on the driving range, and they never learn to get to fifth gear, what I call fifth gear. And that's what we're gonna go over next. So rotational training, perform it, do it. A lot of great resources out there, but don't overdo it.